gentlemen. That's the wrong transition, straight up. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to DAG versus The Walking Dead. Now, let me just adjust a couple things, because I just kind of woke up and decided, fuck it, I'm going to stream today. And so we're here, we're doing streams. The reason we're doing it is because I am going to be learning The Walking Dead TTRPG. The official AMC Walking Dead Universe RPG by Free League Publishing. Very, very keen to play this. Very, very fun system that uses their very unique system. But I need to familiarize myself with it a little bit more. So today, we're going to be just learning more about the rules, figuring more stuff out, that kind of thing. So yeah. I guess the big thing is that for those of you who aren't aware, I'm going to be doing a show, and I'm thinking about this time slot, by the way. So if everyone likes this time slot, or wants it to be here, then that's what we'll do. But yeah, basically the big idea is DAG, me, is playing myself, in the universe of The Walking Dead, and you guys get to decide what happens. So we'll be playing like through a story and a plot, but along the journey that we take, you guys are going to be able to donate to the chat and basically push the adventure forward and see how many days I can survive. That is basically what we're doing in a nutshell. So yeah, that's it. But obviously to play the game, I need to familiarize myself with the game. So we're sitting here and yeah, just doing this sort of stuff. I love this time slot. It's perfect for me. 8 p.m. Nice. So you're on the East Coast, I imagine. Now, keeping in mind, I also don't change due to daylight saving, so there's that too. Also, by the way, for those of you who don't know, our dear friend Millsy is a friend of ours from Europe who we played with. Also, a big fan of the Free League stuff. So I hope that I do this right by a fellow traveler and fan of the Free League stuff. Because yes, I think they've done a great job. I think they've really captured a lot of the vibe of The Walking Dead. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so announcements. Before we begin, as always, guys, listen, we are fundraising for donations. Right now, the donation is, I am broke. Utah, it was amazing and so much fun, but, very expensive, especially the few days I spent in LA. So I'm rebuilding funds. These are funds for things like my account subscriptions. These are things for my general maintenance, things like that. So anyone who donates to the stream, it all goes to the fundraiser. Thank you so much for that. The exception to the donations is the NPC donation. So if you guys want me to design an NPC to be used in the series, you may still donate the $100, and we can make an NPC for that. I know I already owe McClover an NPC, so I'm going to be doing that. But yes, if anyone would like to, you may do so. I mean, I guess I could leave a swarm for when we start, but like that's the only one I'm like doing anything with. But if anyone is donating, it comes with my biggest love and biggest thank you. Okay. So first and foremost, what is The Walking Dead? So for those of you who don't know what The Walking Dead is, as the name implies, it is a zombie apocalypse show that was based upon a comic book. The comic book followed the tale of Rick Grimes, a hard-boiled sheriff who was on a quest to try and find his wife and daughter in a world that was being gripped by a zombie apocalypse, a plague. What's really hard to read? Is the donations hard to read, or is the character sheet hard to read? Let me know, because this is also part of what we're doing today. Let me know. I guess I can increase it. Donations. Okay, so hold on. Maybe I should change the font there. I try to make it zombie-ish, so it looked all cool, but let's go with consistency and reading ability. There we go. There we go. Much better? Yeah, okay. Hey, Robbie, look. Strapped for cash or not, we love and appreciate everyone who comes through and supports the channel just by being here. So thank you so much anyway. So that's just how it is. It's how we are. Okay, so yes. Story, zombie apocalypse. The story takes Rick's Grime. He goes looking for his kid. He encounters not only the undead, but also a myriad of people trying to survive the apocalypse. And that's kind of the nature of The Walking Dead. Very much like, how do we survive the apocalypse, or how do we create a new world in the face of something so horrendously terrible? Hey, no worries, Robbie. Look, you even just being a Patreon, it means a lot, and it does help out. Everything does help out, even if you do it for 1 month, even if you do it for 2 months. The Patreon is a gateway. It's a way for you guys to statically support the channel, regardless of how many shows I do and all this sort of stuff. So any people, even like I said, it's a whole thing. It's very weird, but you don't feel bad. Don't apologize. Never apologize for stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's just not me. All right. So moving on. Let's see. The Walking Dead, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay, good. So the role-playing game is a D6 system where you roll as many D6s as your attribute has. So, for example, under our attributes, we have strength, agility, wisdom, and empathy. That value of that number represents how many dice we begin rolling with. And then whatever skill we're trying to use, we then add those dice to it as well. So if I try to, let's say, dodge a walker who is attacking me, I would gain 3 agility, so I'd get 3 dice from that, and then I would get 1 for my mobility, which would bring me up to 4 dice. I would roll 4 dice, and for every 6 I get, that is a success. 1 success is usually, hey, you've succeeded. 2 successes is, okay, this is a pretty difficult challenge. You didn't really have the good odds in your favor, but you did it. 3 is kind of like, this is a very highly improbable thing that you've done. This is something that's like borderline. If you hadn't seen it, you wouldn't believe it, kind of deal. So that's the basics of the game. But there is obviously more to the game. Like injury and death and walkers and random charts. And so that's what we're here to explore today, reading it with you guys. And yeah, like I said, learning as much as we can. I just dropped one of my dice. It is over here somewhere. Nice. Nope. Aha, I see you. Okay, 1 sec. Go, Dagfoot. And I got a lid. That's not it. Okay, come on. Go, Dagfoot. All right, I got my dice back. Can't lose my dice. They are important for my job. Okay, so let's take a look at the Walking Dead game. So as we previously said, we know how the dice work. Let's now look at the chapter on all the click-clacks. All right, using skills. Okay. There are 12 skills in the game that allow you to handle or endure difficult situations. Each of them is linked to an attribute. When using a skill, add the skill level and its associated attribute together. The sum determines the number of 6-sided dice you roll. Note that you may use this skill even if you have no levels in it, in which case you just roll the number of skills equal to the base attribute. If you have stress points, you must also add 1 stress die to your roll for each point of stress. So I think stress is kind of like your mental damage. So over time, as you get more stressed out, it means that you do have a chance to succeed, I guess, a lot more in your skills because, the stakes are a lot higher. But if you roll a 1 on those, on your stress die, it counts as something bad happening. My goblin in me perked up when I heard the click-clacks. Yes, no, that's amazing. I have click-clacks and I have what I like to call the toe breakers. Look at that. Yeah, I love my toe breakers. Nasty, spiky, amazing dice. I love these. Some of my favorite. Mental damage, relatable at this time of week. Need my days off for sure. Yeah, very relatable. Okay, let's read out the example scenario. GM. There's a shadow moving about 100 feet outside of the wall, just to the left of the tower, where you're standing. It's obvious from the movement pattern that it's a living human, but as it's dark, you cannot see more than a shape, the shape of its body. What do you do? Hannah. Well, I've learned not to let strangers come close to the haven. I aim at the person with my rifle and try to shoot him or her in the head. GM, all right. Roll ranged combat. Hannah, I have agility 5 and ranged combat 3, which means I roll 8 dices. I get 2 successes. GM. The shot echoes all around the person. The shot echoes all around and the person falls to the ground. You smell the gun smoke from your rifle. Everything has gone dead quiet. Dead quiet. See what he did there? All right, so yeah. So 2 was like a difficult shot. So in that case, the GM might have been like, all right, in the middle of the day, broad daylight, it probably would be 1 success to shoot someone. Easy, right? During the night, while it's dark, maybe be a bit more difficult, right? It's not impossible, but difficult. So 2 is probably what they needed in order to succeed. Does that make sense? Adding modifiers. A basic rule is everything affecting the skill roll is added together. If you have a talent or an item that adds a +2 to the roll or something else, it grants a further 1+ bonus. You get a total of, if something gives you a +2 roll and then someone else helps you, giving you a further +1, you then get 3 extra dice in that roll. In rare cases, you may also need to roll fewer base dice. Okay, so yeah, basically it's like anything that gives you a bonus, adds an extra dice. Anything that gives you a penalty removes a dice, potentially. In rare cases. Means to an end. Before you make a skill roll, you must describe what your PC is trying to achieve. That's easy. Hey, Calindria. Reading rules hurts my brain until I've played them. Like, what are you even saying? Yeah, no. Look, rules are how they kind of work. So this is how I learn RPGs. I'll read the whole thing, start to finish, just as is. And I've already done that. I've kind of like opened up the book and just read it through without stopping. Then I'll read it aloud and read it slowly, and then kind of like start absorbing all that information. Then when I get to actually running the game, if I need to reference things, it just sort of sparks my latent memory and then picks up those rules. Because I learned so many RPGs, over time, it's just one of those things. Hey, Calindria, and of course, Mr. Game and Art. Wonderful to see you. Welcome in. Hey, let me know if you guys also like this time slot for DAG versus The Walking Dead, in and when we get to that point. Let me know. All right. Means to an end. Yeah, so before you make a skill roll, you have to explain it further. This usually happens when they get a clear picture. So basically just describe the stuff. And also, you're not entitled to everything. So this is a good example. And this is a good just in general. It's a good one for me to catch. Nice, good. Hey, Swordplay and Sorcery. Wonderful to see you, friend. We're reading rules. We're learning rules. Okay, so here's the scenario. In this, it's basically saying that you aren't entitled to a skill roll. It has to make sense. So, GM. The battle tank closes in on the house where you place David and the wounded woman you found in the library. It moves slowly, as if barely functioning, but you fear it can still easily roll through the building and smash it down. What do? Imani. The only weapon I have is my knife, so I open the door and run towards it and start hacking at the tank, trying to find a weak spot. I try to destroy it with close combat, and I roll 5 dice. GM, wait. This is a tank, and you have a knife. That won't ever work. Imani, well, I do it anyway, and even if I don't get to roll for it, I scream, "Get away from them!" as I climb on top of the tank, stabbing it until the knife blade breaks. So that's kind of it. You can't simply say, I'm going to roll to use 1 bullet to kill everyone. Or, you can't just be silly with it and just entitle yourself to a roll. Because even if, let's say I have 8 dice to add, yes, I could roll 8 6s. That is in the realm of possibility. And by the rules as it is, if 3 is kind of like a super difficult challenge, if you happen to get 8 successful rolls, then by logic, it's supposed to be like a miracle. But the thing is you're not entitled to that role if it has no chance of success. Because I know in D&D and stuff, people tend to, like, oh yeah, just roll for it, and then they roll a natural 20, and then that guy goes, oh damn, why'd I get them to roll for it? So this is just that in a nutshell. Clearly, you need to try seducing the tank, amateurs. Yes, that's true. Actually, what's really funny? I did for fun in last year's Jasper's Game Day have a seducing sorcerer who literally like flirted the lock off a door. I have no idea how he did it. He basically used pelvic sorcery, and I described a very erotic handling of that door, and it just opened up, and I'm like, that's right, it did. Very, very few portals can remain closed to my pelvic sorcery. It was a whole thing. It was very fun. All right. Now this is one of the major mechanics, pushing the roll. Okay, so pushing the roll. When you fail a test, you can choose to give it one more try. This is called pushing the roll. You have found another way to achieve what you want, or you simply muster your last reserves of strength and resolve. If you can't explain what your PC does, which lets them try again, then you're not allowed to push the roll. You may only push a specific roll once. When you push a roll, you re-roll the dice that are not successes, and you also take one stress point and add a stress die to this re-roll. You can push the roll that you've already succeeded, since there are situations where multiple successes are needed. Okay, fair enough. So there you go. Hey, thank you for the lurk, you lovely man. Boom. Protect. Let's see, how do we go? That's an 18. Oh, rolled a natural 20! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing? Hope the journey across the US went well. It did. It went so well. We had a lot of fun. I met Swordplay and Sorcery while we were there. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, hung out with some cool folks. I'll be doing a breakdown of like the journey when I upload all of my footage, because for some reason it's just being a pain and my phone is not talking to my computer, but that will come. But yes, I had an amazing time. Thank you so much. And so good to see you as always. Okay, so, Valeria. I tried to break free from the guard by headbutting him in the face, then kicking him. I rolled close combat, but I failed the roll. The GM. He grins at you with his strangely painted face as he punches you right in the nose and slams you down in the dirt. He then points the crossbow down at your face and mutters, "It's over." As he speaks, you see that he doesn't have any teeth. It's over. Valeria. I try to kick him in the back of his head and force him off me. I push the roll and take one stress. I get a success. GM, you managed to get free. Now what do you do? So that's basically it. It's mustering your resolve. Thirsty work, fighting walkers. Yep, it is. They were separate for a while. Your computer is likely feeling abandoned and they need to reestablish a relationship. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Feel that. All right, stress factors. Here are factors that give you stress points. Nice and easy. Push. Excuse me. Yeah. Drinking soft drink. Actually, so I'm drinking sugar-free tonic water with a little bit of lemon in it because I'm trying to cut down, not cut out, but cut down on my sugar intake. And the Schweppes stuff is very bubbly. It's very good though. All right. So these are examples of situations that will give you a stress point. Pushing a roll, not having enough food and water, being attacked by walkers, being shot at, being framed for murder, being rejected by your lover, killing another human being in cold blood, seeing someone in the group get bitten, seeing someone in the group get broken by damage, being broken by damage, or being bitten. Okay, these are stressful things. I get that. Okay. Let's see. Where's our stress on there? So there we go. So as you can see, we've got 5 stress points on our character sheet that you can see there. So that's where that is. Okay. Do. Okay, cool. Just making some notes. Okay, cool. All right, stress die. Frightening, dangerous, or tense situations in the game can cause your character to suffer stress in the form of stress points. As described above, you also take 1 stress point every time you have to push a skill roll. You never take more than 1 stress at a time, no matter how stressful the situation is. The stress factor table indicates a typical situation which would lead to you taking stress. For every stress you accumulate, you add 1 stress die to any skill roll you make. This is not optional. Stress makes you more focused and more inclined to succeed with what you're doing. However, it also makes you more likely to make mistakes. Rolling one on a stress die is called rolling a walker, which means 2 things. You cannot push the roll if you have not done so already, and you've messed up. It is possible for you to succeed with a roll and still mess up when you get what you want but something goes wrong. The effect of messing up is the same whether you roll 1 or several walker dice. Okay. So messing up is messing up. You just increase the odds of messing up. Okay. When you roll a walker on a stress die, you mess up. Typically, this means that you have attracted walkers and are now under attack. When you mess up this way, the GM either raises the threat level, which we've written down there. So as we've said, 0 is kind of like, nothing's wrong. 1 is that there are some walkers nearby, but you can't see them, they can't see you. Threat level 2 is there are walkers, they haven't seen you, but you can kind of see them. 3 is the walkers are aware of you and sort of making their way towards you. 4 is they're starting to group up and they're becoming a real danger. 5 is that they're swarming and they're right on top of you, and that's like the top tier of bad things. Hey DAG and chat, didn't realize you were streaming today. How's the game shaping up so far? Yeah, it's good. We're testing out the time slot, so this may be the time slot for DAG versus The Walking Dead. We started like a half an hour ago. It seems like a good time, so if people are interested in it, we'll do a poll at the end, and we'll see if people want this to be the time slot for DAG versus The Walking Dead. But yeah, welcome in. We're just reading the rules and, acclimating to the new system. Okay, so going back to messing up. Okay. When you roll a walker on a stress die, you mess up. Typically, this means you've attracted walkers and are now under attack. When you mess up in this way, the GM either raises the threat level by 1 or you suffer a single attack. When you mess up, the GM most often says something about what happens and lets you describe it. This way you can portray your character's reaction that makes sense to you. If you see a PC as a badass warrior, it wouldn't be fun to have them stumble on a banana peel surrounded by enemies. You may instead have your PC fight for their life, beating 2 opponents to the ground, then fail to see a third sneaking up behind them as the PC goes down a hero. At the time, the GM will decide the situation you're in as messed up. In that situation, your only consequence would be that you cannot then push the roll. So messing up. When you mess up, it means you can alert a swarm, fail to notice a couple of walkers closing in on you, run out of bullets or a resource, offend someone, hurt yourself, break something important, get lost, or lose your hostage. Messing up in other ways. When you've played a couple of sessions, you could let messing up mean other things besides making noise and attracting walkers. It can be anything from realizing that you're out of bullets or unknowingly offending an important NPC. So yeah, as we pretty much said. Okay. Here we go. Hey, welcome in, Really Raygun. Nice to see you. All right. So here's the example scenario for messing up. David. As soon as everyone's in the car, I drive the hell out of there. The Game Master. Shots are fired from all around you, and you see the light from the motorcycles behind you. They're not going to let you get away. The road ahead of you is gravel and cuts through the middle of the forest and is dark. David. Keep your heads down. The bullets are flying through the back windshield. I'm actually loving this. It feels great. I'm alive again. Even though I'm scared as shit, I drive as fast as I can. The car hits a huge pothole and swerves, but I manage to keep it under control as we fly between the trees straight towards the darkness. Woohoo! Hannah. Slow down, idiot. David. I just go faster, and I roll mobility to drive the car and get away. I succeed, but I get a walker. The Game Master. You lose the motorcycles, but you still mess up. David. I take a wrong turn onto a small path in the forest and we lose them. Just as we start laughing about it and you all scream at me from the back seat, a deer appears in front of the car. I swerve left and careen into a tree. Game Master. There's a loud crash, darkness, and then a white haze. You're awakened by an annoying sound. Everyone in the car is hurt. Take 1 damage each. You can smell blood and gasoline. The noise is loud. Daylight filters through the cracked windows. You must have all passed out. You can hardly move, but what do you do? Hannah. I get out first, but I look out the window first if possible. Game Master. You see that you are surrounded by walkers. The sound you are hearing is them scratching at the windows outside the car. Damn. Terrifying, and I love it. Okay. So that's what messing up is. Messing up changes the mood changes up the mood very, very decently, you know. Yep. So I'm looking at the donations and I'm wondering, so $15 to summon a walker, that's nice and easy. $30 for supplies or a threat increase. That should be okay. $50 to design an encounter, $100 for a swarm or NPC. I'm just wondering... if there should be a reroll. Maybe there should be a reroll. What do you guys think? Should I have a reroll donation? Should I have a reroll donation? It'd probably be something lower. I'm thinking like maybe a $10 donation for a reroll. Hard to say. Like a $5... yeah, actually, that's a good one. $5 per dice. That's a pretty good one. If my channel points won't work on the game? Yeah, so my channel... so I will likely have channel points for the game, but I haven't decided what they will be yet. Okay, there we go. I was going to ask the same thing. I understand. If not, I'm still saving for a 20k magic bag. Yeah, no. So I have. So there will be channel point rewards for this game. I haven't decided what they will be yet. But I want the major things to obviously be the donation stuff. But I want things like you notice something. Being a channel point. It's like, you notice something. Channel points are also trickier because I then have to turn them on and turn them off, so we'll see how that goes. Okay. Cool. Okay, I like that. So if we're gonna mess up, it means that if we get a $5 donation, we might be able to re-roll a mess up, for example. Potentially. Or they could get me to re-roll one of the successes, and that could be another thing as well. Yeah, I think re-rolling a dice. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, cool. All right. Actually, you know what? I might specifically make it a failed roll. And the only reason I say that is because this is supposed to be like a survival challenge. So the DAG versus The Walking Dead, how many days can I survive? And technically speaking, if I have someone who's making me re-roll all my sixes, that could make this game very short. So we're going to go with re-roll failed dice, and that's failed dice only. So that's fine. If they want to, they could summon walkers and make things difficult. But yeah, like altering the rolls, I think, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so Hey, McClover, nice to see you. Welcome in, my friend. I do also owe you an NPC for this series as well, so I will reach out to you on Discord in due time. So there's that. Channel points are a funny one because you want them to be expensive enough so that they don't get spammed, but cheap enough that the casual viewer can still participate. Yes, Millsy, exactly. That's my goal. I want people who don't necessarily have the funds to support me like this to be able to still do something as well. So yeah. All right, cool. Actually, you know what? Let me just message you on thing, just so that I have the message. Message for Walking Dead NPC later. Good. All right, so that's there. All right, let's keep reading the rules. So, extra successes, rolling more successes on a skill than you means you impress the people around you or you get a little bit more than you wanted. Okay, that's nice and easy. Helping each other, you gain +1 skill for every person helping you to a maximum of +3. They can help you even if they have 0 in the relevant skill. Okay, so that's good. Sorry, they can help even if there's NPCs can only help if they are trained, expert, or master in the skill. Ah, okay. So because we're only playing with NPCs, they have to know or be trained in the skill that we're using to help me if we do end up with people that'll help. So yeah. Parallel actions, so that's when multiple people are using the same action, so that's fine. Opposed roles. Okay, here we go. So, when you and another PC or an NPC are competing or otherwise working against one another, you make an opposed roll. It could be whether you or an enemy race to get to the armory first, whether you're hiding something and they're trying to find you. Both of you are then trying to trigger this guy. Yeah. Okay. You and your opponent each roll. The person with the most successes wins. A draw means that you and the other character are forced to compromise. You either both get something you want or nothing you want. Okay. Cool. That's nice and easy. Extreme difficulty. Normally, when you get at least 1 success in the roll, you succeed, but in extreme cases, the Game Master may decide that it takes more than 1 success. This should happen in situations where you're trying to do something almost impossible, like jumping between 2 cars on a highway or trying to calm an angry mob. So, yeah, like we said before, 1 is difficult, 2 is highly unlikely, 3 is almost impossible. Then we have our skills list. I mean, these are pretty easy. Close combat, endurance, force, literal physical force. Mobility is your ability to dodge, drive a car, things like that. Ranged combat. Stealth, our ability to hide. Scout is like our perception and our ability to, scout. Survival is everything we need to know about surviving, knowledge about handling wild animals, finding food, that kind of stuff. Tech is our ability to repair, build gear or weapons and the like. Medicine, it's healing and, being able to use medicine. Manipulation is basically you're talking to people, bribing, threatening, coercing, etc., all that sort of stuff. And leadership is our way to inspire a crowd. Okay, nice and easy. Next section's all on talents. So there are a number of talents that we get, which are kind of like those little powers. Our talent is Animal Companion. I think we get a second talent. We did get a second talent. What did I get? I thought I got a second talent. Let me just check here real quick. Oh, I did. I got Unbiteable. I just didn't save it. Okay, give me a second. Let me... And there. Boom. I'm now Unbiteable. Okay. Okay, so yeah, moving on. Combat and healing. Here we go. This is one of the big ones that we want to look at. So, the most basic way of fighting is when you're up against a living opponent, either with guns, knives, or bare hands. It's simply an opposed roll. The fighter with the most successes wins and inflicts damage to the other, based on the weapon's damage. So as we know, the dice flail, which I have, has a damage rating of 2. This is because they are both spiked and they're incredibly heavy. I would say happily, if wielded, would be as heavy as a crowbar. So that's what we used as a base. Do. Love the drive. Very John Wick of me. That's true. The drive is, yep. Because we're gonna find a dog and we're gonna just keep it alive. That's the whole point. Okay, should you and your enemy get an equal result when you roll, you hit each other simultaneously, both inflicting damage and failing. Okay, cool. All right, range, nice and easy. Short range is 25 meters or closer. Long range is long range. Anything beyond 100 meters is extreme range. Okay, so that's fine. Cover, when you're behind solid cover, they need to make an additional attack success to hit you. Okay, nice and easy. It does not protect you from close quarter combat. Makes sense. Defenseless target. Should someone attack you, someone who's unaware, it is not an opposed roll. You simply need to succeed with a 1 to hit. Okay. Avoiding attacks. In some situations, you may focus on avoiding instead of counterattacking. You can avoid attacks by making a mobility or a stealth roll, depending on as the situation warrants. As part of avoiding an attack, you can seek cover or reduce the increasing distance by 1 category, if not both. Okay. So, all right, so that makes sense. So if you're running away, hiding, taking cover, etc., all these things. All right, multiple combatants. If 2 fighters gang up on a single enemy, the lone fighter must first decide who to oppose. The lone fighter is then considered defenseless against the other fighter. So this is where walkers become really dangerous. If I'm fighting, like, even 2 walkers, one of them I can avoid. The second potentially becomes I get treated as defenseless. They need to make 1 success to hit me. So I need to be very careful about fighting multiple people. However, if I'm attacking and I've got 2 walkers and I roll multiple successes, that could still be swung as I have hit multiple walkers and defeated them as well. So, you know, it's a risky thing, but I kind of dig it. I kind of get where it's going. Messing up in combat typically means that you've made noise, attracted walkers, raised the threat level, etc., 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 etc. Okay, cool. Combat maps, combat rounds. Brawls are divided into round, and each round everyone gets 1 action. Actions normally require a skill roll. Is there a turn order? Is there a turn order? Brawl phase is decided into 6 categories, 1 to 6. Each round the GM calls out the phase, and NPCs and PCs want to perform it. NPCs declare first, then PCs. Okay, so NPCs automatically go first in this game. Interesting. Okay. The action should be done quickly. If a player can't decide, the GM should then tell them there's no time to ponder, so they might just miss their turn. Okay, so brawling phase. Number 1, taking cover. Does anyone want to take cover? Actually, hold on. Let's do this as well, just so that I have this on hand. Okay. Pardon me, I'm just getting these together. Okay, there's that, and then there's this. Okay. Now, I do this. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. There we go. And that. The Walking Dead. 1, 2, boom. All right, there we go. And that way I can change it to whichever panel I need at any given time. And that way we'll know like what the difficulties are and what the stuff is that we need. Okay, that works. That works. I like that. Okay. If we need any more, then I can add that there as well, and that'll rotate as we go. Okay. So that leaves yada yada yada. Okay, damage and injury. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. The other brawl stuff. Hold on. Wait. Here we go. So taking cover is the first action. Then ranged combatants get a go. Then close quarter combatants get a go. Then we get a move. Get to do first aid and healing, and then you get other things. So things that aren't in those categories. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty easy. All right, next up, damage and healing. All living PCs and NPCs have 3 health points. Where are health points on my character sheet? They are here. So health, unharmed, bruised, battered. Is that what that says? Hold on. Yeah, bruised, battered, and broken. So those are the 3 things. And then I've got critical injuries. So, bruised, battered, and injured. Okay, so recovery. A PC naturally recovers 1 point of health every day as long as they're able to consume a ration. PC that does not feed does not heal. Okay. Broken. When you accumulate 3 or more points of damage, you are broken, meaning you are down. You cannot do anything meaningful. You can say some words, crawl behind the nearest bit of cover, but you cannot walk. As soon as a character becomes broken, they take 1 stress and must roll for critical injuries on a table. Fair. Also, skill rolls fail automatically while you're broken. Taking more than 3 damage from a single attack doesn't have any effect. A broken person who gets injured again suffers an additional critical injury. Attacking a broken person requires a normal roll. Nice. All right, first aid. When you're broken, someone else can give you first aid. So that's a key thing there. Someone else can give you first aid. So if I get broken in this game and no one's around, I can't heal myself. This requires a medicine roll. Only takes a couple of seconds in game. The roll is successful. You get back on your feet. You still suffer from critical injury, but you're not broken anymore. You regain 1 health point, and each extra success in the medicine you roll heals an extra hit point. If there's no one to give you first aid, or if they fail their skill roll, you are broken for a d6 minutes. The GM makes the roll in secret, and after the allotted time has passed, you are no longer broken and heal 1 health, but you are still critically injured. Nice. Armor may protect you. It lessens the damage. Let's see. When hit by an attack, roll a number of dice equal to the armor level. Each success on that dice reduces the damage you take by 1. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, you might find a kink in armor. So the better armor you're wearing, the more likely it is to the most likely it is for you to avoid damage, but it doesn't necessarily protect you entirely. All right, critical injury. When you're broken, you suffer critical injury. Yada yada. We read all that. As long as the injury remains, a number of dice are subtracted from all skill rolls you make. If you have more than 1 critical injury, penalties are cumulative. So like if we have ruptured tendons, we take a -1 to all of our rolls. If we go all the way down to coma, we have a number of days where we cannot act because we're in a coma. Or there's a bunch of them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 actions or 4 results here on that chart that has like 50-something, 55 results. There are 4 of those results which are instant death. So that's crazy. And there's even a couple of things that take like a few months or a few weeks to recover from. So that's cool. I like that. Yep, so recovery time, lethal injuries. Yep, we've kind of touched on that. That looks pretty, pretty fine. Relieving stress. Okay, this is an important one. You relieve stress through social interactions, meeting your anchors, and resting. You cannot relieve stress if you are in immediate danger. It is, for example, not possible to relieve stress in the middle of a fight. Several PCs may relieve stress at the same time. You do not have to announce beforehand that you are relieving stress. Just play out the scene and tell the GM you are relieving stress. Okay, so for me, relieving stress is going to involve my dog. Yeah, a lot of me just having quiet moments with the dog. Social interactions, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. Meeting your anchor. So if we find someone who we can make into an anchor, that'd be amazing. Like the guy on the radio we were talking about. So that's going to be good. And if you lose an anchor, that can add to stress as well. So there you go. Other hazards. Explosions. Fire, poison. I think we can touch on those when we get to those ones. Disease. Falling. Traps. Hungry and tired. Okay, hungry and tired. When you're traveling outside of your haven, you must consume 1 ration of food a day or you will starve. For every day you starve, you make an endurance roll. If you fail, you take a point of stress. Okay, nice and easy. If you have 5 stress or more, you instead start taking damage per day. This damage cannot be healed until you consume rations. Okay, so starving is a thing. When you push your body beyond physical limitations, walking all day and night, you must make endurance rolls, and if you fail, you continue to take points of stress. If you already have 5, while trying to continue to walk, you lose a point of health instead. Okay, so yeah, so health and endurance are the same side of the coin. They function exactly the same. Don't be stressed out. Don't force yourself. Need to rest. We then have gear bonuses, stuff like that. Don't you worry about that. Vehicles, when we're dealing with vehicles, we can come to this. Fighting the dead. Here we go. Whenever you're in the world of the Walking Dead, walkers are a constant threat. Walker characteristics. They don't have skills, health, or any other mechanics such as that. The GM should describe them in creative, gory ways, but also remind you that they were once human. Some help in doing this can be found in the 2 tables on the walkers. Okay, cool. So they've got like, here's how to describe them. Swarm size. 5 to 10 walkers is a swarm size 1. 11 to 20 is a swarm size 2. 20 to 50 is swarm size 3. 50 to 100 is swarm size 4. 100 plus is swarm size 5. And 1,000 is 6. Damn. Okay. A herd and a horde. 2 different things. Cool. Threat meters. Yep, we deal with the... When a scene starts, the GM starts by threatening the threat meter. Yep, cool. Increasing threats. Yep, we've gone through a whole bunch of stuff like that. When a threat level increases, a GM can either let a PC or NPC suffer a single walker attack or increase the swarm size by a step. Okay, so that's including when we mess up. Okay, we're going to copy the threat levels here real quick because I think that's one of those things that we'll need. There we go, add. Threat level. So there we go, that's the threat level. There we go. Nice. Cool. So there we go. That's the threat level stuff. All right. Sorry, just flipping through. Avoiding walkers. Threat level 1 or 2. You can still try avoiding walkers with stealth rolls to sneak past them or mobility rolls. Failing means you increase the threat level. Reducing the threat level. Generally, you wait for walkers to leave at levels 1 and 2, but you need to leave the area, and you have to, kind of circumvent your way if it's level 3 or higher. Okay. A single walker attack. A single attack by a walker is resolved with one skill roll by you. You can roll any skill that makes sense for the situation. Okay, so basically if I see a walker and it attacks me, I can choose to attack it. And if I attack it, that is also its chance to bite me. And messing up is it succeeding at that bite attack. So it just can't bite me unawares, I think. Hold on. Can they ambush me? I mean, I guess if they ambush me, I need to make a mobility to like dodge in the last minute. And it just forced me to have to do a mobility check. Yeah, that'd probably be it. Yeah, that makes sense. And then there's this big walker attack table. Fighting a swarm. Once the threat level reaches 3, the walkers are aware of you. Yada, yada, yada. Small groups, leadership, swarm threat. Okay. If you get a total number of successes equal or greater than the swarm threat, and the swarm's threat is 3 or lower, you win the fight. Threats then go down to 2, 0, or 1. So I basically have to confront them at that point and get as many successes as the swarm size, which is 3 successes on a combat skill or a mobility skill or whatever in order to get out of it. So getting out of a swarm is actually really difficult. Losing the dead. Losing to the dead. So if you get fewer successes, the threat levels continue to increase. Okay. Swarm attacks. Can perform 3 types of attacks indicated on a different page. Yep, here we go. So single attack, and then there's a mass attack at threat level 6. If you're fighting a living enemy in the middle of a swarm, there's rules for that. That's cool. Clearing out an area means attacking the walker swarm before they spot you. Works exactly like fighting a swarm, but it's easier. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. And then we've got rules on the Haven, which we're not going to worry about until later. Core concepts for the character relationship, NPCs. Sweet. Okay, so we've got NPC stats, so we'll work on that with McClover for his kind donation. We got factions, secret issues, challenges. So basically creating this world is also as much about creating the people in it. So I think that's kind of the key thing here. Nice, we have travel generated random rules, so we can do that as well. Nice, there are a bunch of random events too, which I think is going to be useful. NPCs and animals, yep, that's fine. Game Master tips, here we go. Give details but not too many. Use a theme, ask questions, add twists, use your voice and body language, let PCs name things. Use sound and silence, change the pace, use contrasts, and mind the time. Draw maps, and let the world change. I love that. Make it scary. Okay, yep. And then we're into survival mode and solo mode. Okay, nice. There's a bunch of like random tables too, which I think I'll make available on the Discord. So if we're watching and we're playing on the Discord, we can have people roll and generate random stuff too. Sweet. All right. Well, I think that covers pretty much everything. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us today. I hope you had a good time, and thank you for keeping me company while I was learning all the stuff. We are going to go and raid. Who are we going to go and raid? Who is out and about? I think Rob was doing stuff. Yeah, he's doing some stuff. Let's go hang out with him at his It's Alive stream. Oh, maybe he's not. Hold on. Unable to raid Robert at this time. How dare. Maybe I need to reload. Hold on. Yep, there we go. Done. All right, so we're gonna go raid Rob, hang out with him while he does an It's a live stream where he creates a NPC, and yeah, see how he goes and what we end up with. Love your faces. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been Mark of the Dead as a Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. And join us next week for episode 1, where we will be doing DAG versus The Walking Dead. God help me. We will see you guys then. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and as always, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.